The Wisconsin DOJ is asking a judge to immediately put a hold on an order which would require election officials to verify the citizenship for all 3.6 million registered Wisconsin voters before the next statewide election in February. In August of 2024, two Milwaukee suburban voters filed a lawsuit in the lead up to the November presidential election, seeking a court order requiring the Wisconsin Elections Commission and State Department of Transportation to verify citizenship of everyone registering to vote. Wisconsin law requires voters to self-certify as a U.S. citizen, but does not require election officials to require proof or present an ID. Waukesha County Circuit Court Judge Michael Maxwell scheduled a hearing on the request for later this month, saying an immediate stay would violate due process. Disability rights